I decided, hi everybody, are you gonna be mad? I decided to go ahead and do a video about me breastfeeding at 7 months because it was kind of some big changes that happened. I started feeding him, really feeding him solid foods at 6 months. I make pretty much all of my own food. Sometimes I use rice cereal, but for the most part, I make all of his food, and I might even do a video about that. But for breastfeeding, some of the changes that has happened, I thought that he would probably eat less than, eat less, but he doesn't. I don't know. It seems like he's still eating the same number of times. Maybe he's not getting as much milk because in the morning I feed him twice a day, in the morning and at night. And I'm gonna start feeding him 3 times a day, but I just haven't started doing it yet. But in the morning and at night, and I did notice a decrease in my milk supply at first because I tried to pump milk and there wasn't no milk in there. So, but after a couple days of him just drinking milk, it seemed to come back up on its own. So it wasn't a huge problem. Like I was really, really afraid of that happening, but it wasn't a huge deal. But I think the decrease in milk supply might have also been because it might have been because I go to school at night and stuff, and I had bottles. Well, I don't feed formula, but milk bottles that I pumped from previous. And then I'm supposed to come home and pump milk so that it wouldn't decrease my milk supply, but I wasn't. And I did that for a couple weeks, so I think that might also contributed to the decrease in milk supply. But the decrease in milk supply also, which was really sucky, my menstrual cycle did return, and that wasn't cool. It was very, very sucky to have because I've known women who've been breastfeeding for like 3 years and they didn't have a menstrual cycle for 3 years. So maybe with me feeding more, because he's eating more, maybe it'll go away again. But also it's I started giving him food because he was waking up at night, and that has not changed. He still wakes up at around 12 or 1 o'clock for feeding, and he wakes up again at around 4 for feeding. And then he wakes up around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, but he's usually up until nap time. So, but he's still getting up about twice at night. I don't know, maybe I've noticed also during the day he doesn't like to sleep as much as he used to. He used to take 2 naps, and I would call the last nap like a half nap because it was only like 30 minutes to an hour. But before he'd take like 2 hour naps, and now it's like I'd be lucky if I can get him to get down for a nap at all. He doesn't like taking naps in the day, and if he do, it's only like 45 minutes. But I do, I can get him one nap for 2 hours. The food itself, um, he likes pretty much everything I give him. The only thing he doesn't seem to like is the brown rice that I make myself, not the one that is out of the box. And he doesn't like mashed potatoes, surprisingly. So far I've fed him green beans, sweet peas, carrots, rice, potatoes, and each one I did about 4 days to make sure he didn't have any allergies, which he didn't have any allergies to anything, which was good. I had no reactions, and he's a good eater. He likes to eat. He's starting to grab the spoon. He wants to put it in his mouth himself, and he makes a pretty big mess if you let him touch the spoon. I don't think there's anything wrong with getting the jar food if you like the jar food. But I like it this way because I like to see what I'm giving the baby. And some of the ways I make the baby food, I get regular. I know at first I was doing like fresh vegetables, but they take like forever to cook. So especially when you have a hungry baby. But I get the canned stuff and rinse it off. Like rinse the sweet peas. Let's say I rinse the sweet peas off. I steam them for a little bit, and then I put them in the blender. Sometimes I use breast milk. Sometimes I use the water that was on the food itself. And sometimes I use regular baby water if I don't have enough water and I don't have enough milk. And he likes it regardless, as long as it's not the rice or the mashed potatoes. He likes it, everything. And some of the myths I like to bust on. He's not sleeping through the night because he's not eating and he's hungry. No, he's not sleeping through the night because he's not sleeping through the night. Okay. I give him food at night right before we go to bed, before his bath time. He's up a little bit late. His bedtime is between 9 and 10 o'clock, and I pretty much stick to that usually. I give him food, I bathe him, and then afterwards I give him a little milk before he goes to bed. I started giving him water, which baby water. He likes cold water, surprisingly. I thought he wouldn't because he drinks milk. But he likes cold water. I give him cold water, but he doesn't really like a whole lot of water. But he'll drink it out of a. I give it to him out of a sippy cup because I'm trying to start weaning him off bottles. But he can hold his bottles now, which is a plus because I don't have to hold the bottles for him whenever I do give him bottles, which isn't. I don't give him bottles very often, but my husband, when he's home and I'm not home, he gives him bottles, and he holds his own bottles, and that's kind of cool. Sometimes we put rice cereal in the bottles, which is really really good, and we haven't had any problems with that, and he'll drink it, so he likes it. And we use half the amount of milk, which is a plus, especially when you're pumping. Like, he might drink between, he's still only, he's 7 months, and he still only drink about 4 ounces, 4 or 5 ounces at a time. But if you put a little rice in there, it only drinks like 2 ounces, and maybe I'll give him a little water so he doesn't get constipated. Haven't had too many problems with constipation, but I can say that he went to the bathroom pretty much every diaper change to every other diaper change, and it's pretty much been like that. His poop, I would say, was kind of runny, and that kind of sucked. But now it's like more solid, and it's changed in color. Before it used to be more yellow, and now it's kind of closer to brown, and it's like solid pieces versus the runny stuff. He doesn't use the bathroom as nearly as often, maybe twice a day. And before it was like every diaper change, but maybe twice a day, sometimes once a day, which is, he doesn't seem to be constipated or straining or anything, which was a big thing I was having a problem with. But I try to only give him, well, I only give him vegetables. Also, I do give him pretty much anything I eat. I give him like a little taste. I might chew it up and give it to him, only because like little bits, just so to give him a taste of whatever I'm eating, so that he doesn't grow up to be like a picky eater, because I don't want a picky eater. So I give him pretty much when it comes to food itself, like his food, I feed him his food, but I give him little bits and pieces of everything, and he seems to like. He doesn't, it's kind of cute watching his little face. Today he ate a cookie, which I didn't really give to him, but it was in a paper bag, and I didn't think he can get the paper, get the cookie out of the bag or whatever, but he chewed the paper up until he got to the cookie. So, and he did it on purpose. I tried to give him another bag, and he wasn't studying that bag. He could smell that cookie, and he wanted the cookie. But I try not to give him sweets or anything like that, because I want him to be good on vegetables. So that's my experience so far with breastfeeding. Decreased milk supply. I lost my period, but it seemed to work. It's been working out okay. Not to the point where he's still not breastfeeding, and but he's still eating a lot. He's still, like, at this point, he's still drinking a lot of milk. My baby getting sleepy. It is 10:30. He's getting sleepy, baby. But yeah, it's like he's still drinking a lot of milk. He doesn't eat more than he drank right now. And when I was reading, it's supposed to be like, as it progresses, he's supposed to eat more and drink less. But for now, he still drink a lot of milk. So if that's the sole reason why you're switching over, then he's still gonna drink a lot of milk if you're breastfeeding. So that's that. Have any questions? Let me know. Bye. Say bye bye, baby. Bye bye. Sleepy baby.